wrong way. Starting off strong. Trying to see if it would let me rotate the other direction, but it did not give me the option today, guys. Hi, I'm Candace. I'm saving the cabin along with my husband and kids. Today it's just me. If you're watching this on Facebook, unfortunately it is a recording from YouTube, just because Facebook likes to delete any lives after 30 days and it's a pain. And I know there's a way around that, but yeah, I don't feel like dealing with it today. So let's see. I'm going to wait for you all to join me because I didn't give any warning whatsoever because that's what I like to do. And okay, let me get my tripod set up. And then we can sit and have a chat. But, all right. I'm in the garden if you can't tell. I am trying a new internet setup. I got a hopper, which, let me try to multitask at the same time. Lower you guys down. The internet hopper is something I didn't even know existed. So this is my test for it for my video that I'm making about the product, because I said I would give an honest review. So I am reviewing, as you can see, because I'm using it right now. So an internet hopper is something that you can set up to, it goes up to 3 kilometers away, which I looked up, 1.8 miles, to give internet in a different building. I have been horribly struggling with my Ring cameras. They have been feeding off of, I forgot what you call it, like the little Wi-Fi extension inside the cabin. Yeah, they don't like to go through cabin walls. So the Ring cameras go in and out. They're always saying unavailable because of the internet and they're offline. And yeah, so I am hoping that this will be more reliable. And it is going to, when I have the farm stand, I will actually be able to have it set up, one of their hoppers, over at the road. And that way I can have surveillance there in case anyone's being a jerk and stealing or, destroying something. So, I am getting lots of people joining. Hello, everyone. So I thought I would give an update from the garden because anytime I try to come out here, I lose connection. It never fails. So if this goes well and I don't lose connection, because normally even right here, it would be in and out. The internet would not be doing well. So you guys would be seeing me all fuzzy and pixelated. So you have to let me know if things start coming through odd on your end. Because I know sometimes it can be just on your end, but a lot of the time it's me. So yeah, lots of people joining. Can you whistle loudly? No, I can barely whistle. This lisp and whistles, that's the only thing that comes out is a little bit of an airy high pitch. That's it. Jeremy can whistle a merry tune, not me. And I can do an inhale whistle slightly. You see ducks? Those are actually my geese up there. They don't get to be out in the garden without me here. They're big enough that they can't be lifted by our red hawks that we have that live right above us, but they can still be messed up. So until they're a little bit bigger, because I guess we're now at 5 weeks old. We're still at 4 weeks. I'm losing my mind. It's not the following weekend. It's only Monday. Happy Memorial Day. Today is definitely a day to remember those who have served and lost their lives. But hopefully it can be a pleasant day for everyone. And of course I'm getting messages. I've been talking to a turkey lady. It looks like out of my 4 turkeys, I might get 1. that lives. They are all showing signs of cardiovascular disease. And I have consulted veterinarians. It is not blackhead disease. It is not missing a mineral. It is not any of those type of things. It is cardio. The fluid buildup on the lungs is a dead giveaway. With turkeys, especially heritage breeds, many of them, I was reading as few as less than, I think, just under 300 of many of the heritage breeds left in the world. When they try to bring them back, of course, there's lots of inbreeding that has to happen. Therefore, they have a tendency of having heart issues because their bodies grow faster than their hearts. And even though I gave them the right protein ratios, there's no veterinary fix for it. There's theories on things you can do, like having the right protein ratio, but it doesn't mean jack, really. And Haley, my one girl, has fluid coming out her nose. She's extremely lethargic and pale. This is going to be her last day, probably. I mean, she could be like Homie. Homie, we suspected for well over 2 weeks that something wasn't right. But when he started having the breathing, well, he was doing the little open mouth gasping. He passed away within 24 hours of that first showing. With her, she's not open mouth gasping or anything. It's not really a gasp, it's just they open their mouth. It's just a weird, almost neurologic thing. But she has fluid coming out her nose. So there's something going on with her lungs, and you can hear it when she breathes, and she's swallowing it back a lot. The boy that is the same dark color as Haley, so the two dark ones, he, at the same time, we started noticing he's not lifting his head really anymore. He's just walking around tucked in, like we first noticed with Homie. So, and he's pale. So that means his heart is also starting to fail. And apparently, from what I've been reading, 8 weeks is the marker that it comes on. And they are 8 weeks old. Well, I guess 9 weeks now. So, yeah, it's textbook, literally, Merrick Manual. That's our, if you saw my short on it, that's kind of our veterinary Bible, our handbook that you go to for everything. It basically has every disease, every issue explained. And unfortunately, I just got the luck of the draw. One of my viewers did write and tell me that they raise about 25 every year, and they only get 10 in the long run. And basically, every friend I have says they tried, like every friend that I have that does homesteading, they tried turkeys, didn't get a single one. I've had one that she had a big, pretty tom, which is what we call the boys. And I guess maybe a month ago, a bear took him out while he was sleeping. So, it's, turkey parenting is not for the faint of heart. You can tell I'm a bit poofy. I admit I ugly cried while holding her, and she didn't want to be put down. But, you know, I gave her a chance. She was very, very well loved. Still is. I sat with her this morning. She's still alive, but very lethargic. Just kind of mopey. Let me see. I'm just trying to... Yep, those are geese. Yeah, I know. It's really sad. It sucks. It's not going to stop me from getting more turkeys. I love the idea of having turkeys, and so far they are my favorite because they're cuddle bugs. I don't know, of course, how they are once they become adults, if they stay cuddle bugs. But, yeah, I'm going to try again. Yeah, it's definitely the breeding. I found out that the store that I bought them through he used what is considered the most reputable place for turkeys. So it's not, I'm not thinking it's them after I've seen, like, I researched a lot, we'll say. And this place tries to take the most care, tries to weed out the bad genetics, but it's still, because heritage breeds 100 years ago were almost gone. I think it was 100 years. I don't remember specifically, but at one point they were almost gone. It's just one of those things. I'd like to continue having heritage breeds to help the breed, the life cycle of them, but I don't know where I'm going to get them from at the moment. I'm thinking I wanted somewhere local. I thought I found someone local on Facebook, and then she talks about shipping them to me. So I'm not sure. And they're 3 weeks old. I think I want smaller babies so I can bond more. More cuddle time. So we'll see. I'll figure it out. Yeah, geese are definitely good watchdogs. Unfortunately, the geese have decided that Jeremy and I are the parents. The kids are suspicious. So they like to go for kneecaps and try to rip at the pants already on the kids. It started this week. Like, Fiona can let them out and bring them into the garden. If I walk up, they start pecking at her. Right? And they love sleeping on top of my mint. It'll survive. It's mint. Let's see. Yes, congestive heart failure is what they have. Well, ish. We'll call it a cardiomyopathy. So that just means disease of the heart. And there's like 1,000 different types. Their bodies grew too fast for their heart to keep up with. And as much as you try to control that with the right amount of protein, it happens. I've been reading it is extremely common. I thought, because with chickens, they say 1 in 5 baby chicks you lose, and out of 44, I've only lost 1, and that was literally the very first day it came that way. So it's not me, I think, when it comes to the turkeys. Let's see. Would white turkeys be better? I've read mixed reviews. Some people say white turkeys are better. Others say that they have a higher risk of heart disease because they are bred to become meat chickens. So a lot of the white ones are bred to grow quickly. So they are not made for long-term turkeying. I'm going to take this off. It is finally warming up. Yeah, it's not too muddy. We had a thunderstorm last night, good lightning, not a lot of wind. They warned of 60-mile-an-hour winds. We went in the cabin, and then there was just a lot of good lightning. One of my friend's farms, though, did get struck by lightning and is having a ton of electrical issues from it. It basically took out a lot of things. And let's see. Yeah, you have farms. A lot of the white turkeys are meat production turkeys. I'm raising more pets that, if they become jerks, become meat, if that makes sense. The goal is to hug and love on them and keep them forever. But, you know, like roosters, they can become jerks even if you love on them. Yes, we have lots of wild turkeys around here. They like to congregate in the road, on my road. I have not seen where they keep their babies, though. You know, I'm not opposed to stealing. No, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I'm looking more for heritage breeds myself. I guess I will share as I pick at the glue that's on my leg. On the road yesterday, I found a baby turtle, not baby turtle, a turtle, quite adult, like size-wise of 30-ish years. It's an eastern box turtle. Um, I haven't paid attention to the eye color. That is how you tell with them if it's male or female. Males, red eyes, girls, golden eyes. I've been more working on the jaw. Um, so turtle apparently was in the road. Someone hit him. The shell is, for the most part, okay. There's some scratching up that was raw. Because believe it or not, right underneath the hard part is a soft tissue. So they can feel even through their shells. So we have some skid marks, but I guess the shell got smacked while the head was out, and the jaw, not where the hinge is, but right here and right here, cracked. This side detached, flopped open. I contacted my tech people that work in emergency, and for a holiday weekend, it is an immediate euthanasia. They don't have time to try to piece back together a turtle, and usually they piece them back together before they call wildlife rehabilitator if they're broken, because the veterinarians are the ones that do that, not the rehabilitators, at least in my area. So it was immediate death sentence if I took him the hour and a half drive to the closest ones. So I decided to give it a try. I've actually helped piece together turtles multiple times. That's how I actually got my first Eastern box turtle. His name was Doorstop, which was ironic because, man, that thing for a turtle could run. He had a cracked shell, and it was cast back together. Then I've had one that had a crack in the front flap shell. And then a beak injury. And the beak I knew could be fixed and glued together, so I tried it with the jaw. So we will see. I carefully glued and put some temporary banding of paper with glue to hold the pieces together. Through the rain last night, that paper did get wet enough that it came off, but the jaw seems to still be holding in place. And yes, I know what I'm doing is technically illegal. I'm aware of it. So someone will probably turn me in because I'm mentioning it. Because you're not supposed to do things to wildlife without the care and supervision of a veterinarian, yada yada. And you have to be licensed. Well, I'm licensed a registered veterinarian or veterinary technician. I guess it's no longer registered in the state. They changed my name. I'm a licensed veterinary technician. And yeah, if I need to, my woodpecker clicking behind me. A vet knows I'm doing this, so I'm under the care of a veterinarian. But it was euthanasia or try myself. We'll see. I'm giving the jaw time. It seems to be moving when it wants it to. I'm letting the tissue fuse back together, which happens fairly quickly in turtles. So I'm going to try to hand feed it some cat food, wet cat food tonight. That is a treat you can give them. You don't, of course, want it to be their main meal, but it is something that you can use for supplementing. So we are going to see how it goes. Let's see. Just looking at the comments here, try to talk through it so it's not dead silent and birds chirping. Yeah, years ago you raised 2 out of 5. 1 drowned. Oh. And the other 2, you just don't know why. Probably the heart. I've been reading that as the most famous reason. Just sudden death. But there can be signs of it beforehand. But typically they just keel over wherever they are. Yeah, the geese are doing awesome. I can't believe how quick they grew. I'm being very aware of them getting plant material. Niacin is more ducks than geese, but a niacin deficiency can cause what they call angel wings, where the wings don't form right and they stick out. So I research the tar out of everything. That's what I do. I like to be prepared. I'm not a wing it type. Well, I'm kind of a wing it till I'm not. But I was a wing it when I bought them, and then came home and it's like, crap, I don't know anything about them. But I knew that I was not expecting them in the store this year because they hadn't been getting anything but chickens and ducks. So I didn't think they would have them this year because my store apparently wasn't marked to get turkeys. So I just assumed they weren't getting geese either, even though geese were on my want list in my head. But yeah, so impulse buy along with the rest of the chicks that were there. By the way, that day I did get 4 more. Technically, Fiona got 4 more. Fiona used her allowance that I technically owed her because she bought a shirt for school stuff that I needed to pay her back for because I didn't have cash on me to give her. But she had cash from her Christmas stock. So it was a trade. So 4 of those baby chicks are hers out of the 20. And they are thriving and doing well. I think I see 3 potential roosters. We'll see. I really wanted roosters this year of specific breeds because I wanted blue egg layers or a dominant brown egg layer. And only certain ones of the brown ones are considered dominant colored. Because I want to be able to make my own Easter eggers and other bougie, sorry, chicken on the geese, eggs. I mean, my new egg stand, I had the packaging done. It's going to be called the bougie egg. So might as well keep it up. Yeah, definitely bad breeding. But I don't think it's a luck of the draw breeding more than bad breeding, I think, after researching this place, because they do claim to be aware of trying not to inbreed to better the genetics. So I think it's just one of those, I got the short end of the straw. Short straw? Short straw. Short end of the stick. Something like that. Whatever the phrase is. Yep. Brewer's yeast for these guys. I actually saw that their food is a high niacin food that I've been giving them. So technically I shouldn't have to supplement, but a lot of the greens that they like to eat are greens that have niacin in them, like the clover and stuff like that. And most of this green right here is white clover that I planted. I just put a new seeding down yesterday thinking that it had rained, and I didn't think we were supposed to get the storms because they were supposed to have stopped and not hit us. Apparently they made it a little farther. Luckily not as strong because there were tornado warnings headed straight towards us. And yeah, it fizzled about the time it hit us. So just lots of lightning and rain. So some of my seeds are not where I put them. I had some bulb patches I was trying to fill in. Just reading. Neighbor's cat got yours. Yeah. Yep. Box turtles. I love box turtles too. I've had some. My original guy, I had a leash when I was a kid, and I would take him out in the yard on a leash because, like I said, he could run. Once he was thoroughly healed, I probably had him about a year, but I started noticing certain times the year he really was trying to get through the wall, that instinct to go a certain direction, and I felt bad for him, so I put him back outside, and doorstop was 30, 35-ish, if I remember right. Let's see, sorry, I, of course, didn't wear my glasses, and my eyes are poofy, like I got water bag eyes. I tried putting, I went to the store this morning, got hemorrhoid cream for my eyeballs. It didn't shrink them. Still poof. But anytime I cry, I think it's the redheadedness, I get swollen the next day. Not the day of, just the next day. So you can always tell when it's happened. But I have been more sensitive to eye bags recently, especially with the lack of sleep of animals. But last night, minus some turkey dreams, I'll admit it. But yeah, I just did decide, Jeremy and I talked through it. I'm gonna get another 4 turkeys because even though they have not passed away, 2 of them, we know it's inevitable. I can't say the word. Are they? Oh, and the reflection will look like they were both in that mint. Yes. You talking? Are you talking? Yeah? They like to talk. They're very, very talkative. They're like Siamese cats. So yeah, so far, my signal strength is working. I'm having a live in the garden and it's not going in and out. Let's see. Cucumbers! So the cucumbers are going gangbuster. This is gourd. It goes all the way up, and I'm about to have to teach it to loop back around once it makes it about halfway down because I don't want it to mess with the zucchini that's going to be coming up. Behind me, I have tomatoes. Do you see how tall these tomatoes are? Remember last year, the tomatoes I planted stayed a nub and never grew past this the entire year. Yeah. This year is doing much, much better. I have jalapenos. I have lots of peas so far. Gavin loves flat peas, like the Chinese flat peas. So every time I get some, which is like every day, every other day, I'll get 2 or 3. And yeah, he instantly shoves them in his mouth. He doesn't de-string them. He says it tastes better that way. 10-year-olds. If you can't hear, the dogs are outside. They like to have the mornings to be outside and bark and scream at every squirrel known to man. And then midday they come in for their naps and their bones and sleep the afternoon away. And that's Gus, for sure. And as I look around, I see more bamboo coming up in my garden beds. It's also the battle. I just have to go through the garden beds periodically and pluck out the bamboo. It will be the never-ending battle just because I didn't want to dig up 2 feet of my yard and find somewhere to put the dirt because it couldn't stay on your property because then the bamboo just sprouts wherever you put it. So yeah, I'd rather the battle. And the chickens like the little bamboos, the little white tender parts. What about the cats? Cats are doing great. Well, I say that. Forgive me, depending on which side of the political aisle you are, or if you're like me, somewhere in the middle, making fun of everyone. My old guy is a year older than Fiona, so he's almost 15. And actually, yeah, this is about the time he was probably born. So he's 15. He's in his Biden era, we call it. He likes to just wander around, stare at the wall. He seems with it sometimes, and then other times he goes back to just being in his own little world. So we jokingly call it he's in his Biden era. So I'm not trying to be political, but it's just funny because I guess it is political. But I don't swing one way or the other. How's that? And yeah. Oop, I'm missing stuff. Do you feed your plants at all? They're growing well. When I first put them in, because these beds were topsoil and I topped them with chicken poo, like I put shavings in the chicken coop, and then when it's time to clean out the chicken coop every few months, I push it all out the door and their little door into their run, and then they kick it all around and have fun with it. And then eventually, because we're on a hill, it all settles at the bottom. So I dug out all the bottom because it's starting to become level because there was getting so much, and I put a full wheelbarrow's worth in each bed. One bed got a little extra because I ran out of soil and I wanted to do it cheaply. But that's my flower bed. So yeah, I'll take you on a walk in a second through the garden and kind of show you what all is growing. But yeah, so I did do a fish poo solution like the liquid that you fertilize with. I did that throughout the garden. With all this rain, it's probably time to do it again to fertilize. I had made a mistake though. I fertilized the blueberries with it. Didn't know you weren't supposed to do that, or the chicken poo. It changes the pH of the blueberries. So it made it acidic, I think is what it is, which is what standard gardens are. Blueberries, wait, no, it made it basic. Blueberries like acidic. So it swung them the wrong way, and I didn't get a single flower from the blueberries I bought when I first moved on the property. So this is year 3 of them. First year, deer and birds got everything. Yeah. I love when they run. Did you see that? Let me. They got everything. Oh, hi. So I can tell them apart. She's doing soft nibbles, believe it or not. He tries to rip your finger off when he nibbles. And nibbling is just part of gooseness. It's how they feel everything. But back to the blueberries. Yeah, so first year, I didn't get a blueberry. Everything else got them. Last year, I moved them over here. I got tons. And then this year, I fertilized wrong. But after I corrected it and gave it a blueberry fertilizer, all of a sudden I started getting green things sprouting everywhere. I thought I saw a flower trying to form, but it was a leaf. Yeah? Really? Is that so? Yes. Oh, you are the boy. You're just being gentle to me, huh? Oh, no, we're being a little more rough. Apparently it's normal for the boys to bite harder, girls softer, I read. Which definitely seems to be the case because the bigger one bites harder. Little one, softer. Stop eating the garlic. You're not marinating yourselves. Onions in this bed, but they like the onions and the garlic, which can upset their tummies, so I don't know why they do that. And then I cuddle them and they smell like dinner. And you can see she's back in the mint. Of course. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for guineas yet. Because the chickens, the whole purpose of getting so many of them, because like I said, I'm at 43, and I don't know how many will end up being roosters. I bought 9 mixed bin, so you'd think one of those would end up a boy. But yeah, they're for my egg stand, and I'm not sure that anyone in this area would be up for guinea eggs. I figure once I start the stand, I can leave little notes and be like, hey, would you be interested in quail or guinea eggs? Or even duck eggs, which I'm not doing ducks this year. But turkey eggs, if I can get one to live. So I figure I can feel from there where to go. In my experience, like quail eggs are mostly like Asian communities like them a lot. We don't have a lot of those up here. We have a lot of good old boys that their families have lived here for a couple hundred years, and that's just, yeah, it's mainly redheads in my area. So I fit in. It's really weird. I've never seen this high of a concentration of redheads anywhere in my life. My school, I was a strawberry blonde, and my friend Erin was like this color red, a little bit brighter. And that was it. That was us. Her brother. While we were in elementary school, but we were never in school with him again. Yeah. That was us. There weren't redheads. And I graduated with like 750 kids. Biggest graduation out of my entire county for the suburbs of Atlanta ever, because they ended up making new schools. I just remember Erin and I. And I was just a really light strawberry, so like I wasn't like a redhead. So who knows? I'd like to think they're not all inbred, but they could be like the turkeys. Because a lot of kids are like, oh, that's my aunt. Oh, that's my uncle. Oh, that's my cousin. I hear that a lot. Let's see. Love duck eggs for baking. I was told turkey eggs for baking are great too. Would guineas help keep bears away? I don't think so. I don't think they would. The only animals that I know that actually buck up to bears and try to fight back of the birds have been, I've heard about geese, because they'll do the big wingspan and go at them to scare them off. Yeah, that's the geese will be put up every night just to keep them safe from other things that like to try to eat them while they're asleep. But during the day, once they're a little bit older, they will have free range of the garden area and chicken area. They do not get to go in the other birds because apparently introducing them at 3 weeks old to the other birds was too late. They are jerks to the other birds. To the turkeys. The turkeys were bigger than them and they were still biting the turkeys. So yeah. They don't get to interact. They're mean. Ooh, goose egg sandwich. Maybe one day. I think I have a boy and a girl. If you can't tell, I like anything I get to cuddle. I like cuddling of animals. So for me, the turkeys were the best. They're at the point where they don't want cuddles. They just want to be close. Like I think 4 or 5 days ago was the last time one of them wanted to sit in my lap to sleep. And then now they just want to be right next to me. Which is okay because when they sit in your lap to sleep, you got to kind of point the booty out because they poo in their sleep and it just projectiles. It's great. Oh, guineas will go after rattlers. Luckily, we don't have a lot of those in this area. There are a North Georgia rattlesnake, but I've never actually seen one personally. Copperheads and water snakes are the worst that I typically would deal with here, just because of the creek. But I have seen a lot of rat snakes. A couple, what are they called? Garter snakes or gardens? No, garter snakes, the brown ones. Yeah, and a worm snake. That was a couple weeks ago. Let's see. Oh, they're like guard dogs. One day. I've already taken on a lot this year, so the geese are taking a bit of time from the cabin because I need to be able to let them graze and be out. So I have to allot time to not be working on the cabin. And right now, I am doing the most tedious job that you wouldn't think should be as hard as it is, but it is. On the outside of the cabin, there was ivy growing up, and the ivy roots went into the wood. I did the cleaning, I did scrub brushes, I tried a hard wire brush. All that did was damage the wood. So I did a softer wire brush to get rid of the roots, and it did nothing. So I'm trying to keep the patina, the older aged look of the wood, and not damage it, and still get rid of the roots. I tried sanding. Well, because it has ripples, the grooves of the grain of wood, any of the roots that are in the grooves don't get touched. Or I'll end up sanding away the patina. So counterproductive. So I have to sit there with tweezers and scratch out and pluck off every root that was going up a third of the wall. I can't seal the wood until those are gone because I don't want to permanently seal the roots in and have that ugly look. Because I want this to be perfect. I'm willing to take the time, but man, it's annoying. I even tried to bribe Fiona. I was like, hey, I'll pay you $5 an hour, which she thought she was too good for. for a 13-year-old. I was happy for any money, but apparently she will not work for dishes and be bribed by money and plucking roots off walls. Other stuff, other chores, I can bribe her. Keeping an eye on them. But yeah, so you have quite a few relatives with red hair. Yeah, it's very concentrated here. Like, I'm saying not quite a third of the elementary school that Gavin went to, but a good quarter. Like 2 to 3 per class of 18. Easily, if not more. So it's impressive. But he no longer goes there. I no longer have littles. Gavin is now a middle schooler, because here 5th grade is middle school. So we have middle school, that's 5th and 6th, and junior high, which is 7th and 8th. What? What you doing? Oh, wait. There. What you talking about? Oh, a butt wiggle. And stretch. Now you know why I parked the camera here. I know where they like to nap. But, so yeah. Yeah, very monotonous. Oh my goodness. It is, it's not fun, and it does not go quick. You feel like you're just sitting there and you're not making any progress. So it's hard. But I will have a pretty wall. I do have all the wood to frame up the window on the front porch that will go into Fiona's room. And for all of you that keep asking, yes, Fiona's room will have sensors. I will know if she tries to sneak out on the bottom level. I'm aware. But we will not put the window in until we actually have that room gutted. That way we can pull all the stuff out through that window instead of trying to walk it around inside the cabin. And I'm trying to think what else is new. Once I get the ivy on that side, I will do the side porch. I'm looking at it right now. The outside cleaner, and it still has, one half still has all the cement. On the side that still has the window, still has the cement. It's basically the only areas is that corner of the living room that have cement left. So I still have to remove that cement and then do the wood cleaner on it on the outside. The inside I'm going to do a hand cleaning. This other one is a spray and you wash it off. So it's very, very messy. A lot of water everywhere. Luckily, with the way the logs are stacked, it doesn't actually go into the cabin unless I accidentally spray between the logs. But so yeah, just really slow, boring progress. It didn't help that since it was the last time of elementary school, I did field day. And his school has such small property where it sits up on the mountain that each grade has to have their own field day. They can't have more than one in a day because there's nowhere for them to play. And if not, they're on top of each other. So 5 days of field day, and I was in charge of the bounce houses, and it rained for 3 of the days. So we were literally wet vacuum sucking out water out of these things and taking microfiber hand towels and drying them and wringing and drying and wringing. And because of that, I had to be inside the bounce houses to be able to help the little kindergartners up through the obstacle course because they couldn't do it in the wetness because inevitably more water comes up. Those things didn't dry out ever. Even by Friday, 2 days of dry, there's still some water that would come up through the air channels. So yeah, things are slow going. I've contacted a roofer, and he is supposed to be coming out this week to give a quote for the top part of the roof. Jeremy's dad just needs to stay and take care of, well, not take care of, but keep an eye on his brother. He's had 2 massive heart attacks this year and 1 recently. So that's why he has not been coming out. And we figure what we'll do is do everything we can ourselves, but you know, like that steep part of the roof where Jeremy's just not comfortable being so high up off the ground, we'll hire. I don't like to spend the money. We know I'm cheap, but it needs to get done. What about salt and vinegar for the ivy roots? They're dead roots. When we bought the cabin, someone had cut the ivy, so they were sitting for 6 months, a year, dead. So they have been one with the wall for 3 years now, dead. So they have dried into place. That, and I don't want to salt the wood that's clean because it'll leave a gray hue behind, and I'm going to be putting a sealant on it that will have a bug killer in it that will permanently make the outside sealed up and kill the bugs, like the powder post. Powder post? Yeah, powder post beetles, boar beetles, some people call them. And then they have little wasps that are everywhere right now. I know I did a good job cleaning, and that my cleaning solution must have killed a lot of the beetle larvae that was in the walls, because the wasps are just going from hole to hole to hole to hole looking for a wasp baby to inject their babies into to feed on. And they're not finding them on the outside, on that side. The other side, there's like swarms of these little wasps. Chirp, 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 chirp. But should we do a garden tour? Hopefully I don't make anyone dizzy. I'm just gonna wipe this because it's a bit humid. Sorry guys. All right. So we'll start at the top. And so flower bed was what this was originally intended to be. Then I forgot about some of my seed packets, and Jeremy is trying to mess with me with the Ring camera. I'm live, honey. Oh, hi. Yeah, oh, hi. Okay, so the seed packets, yeah, they started to germinate because I left them in the rain. Kind of forgot about them. And I just did a be free. And I have radishes and more radishes. Oh wait, more radishes. There's some beets mixed in there. Some carrots. So this is no longer a flower garden specifically. And I wanted something that would climb. So here there's like I just had a brain fart. Yard long beans. And then, the ones that you eat at New Year's. Why can't I think of them? Oh, geez, someone will tell me. Yeah, the beans you eat for good luck. Black-eyed peas. There we go. Black-eyed peas. There. Yard-long green beans there. So, yeah, there's some very random stuff. All the beds that are on the back side of the sunlight, I did plant sunflowers, so we'll see if they come up at all. Nasturtium, yes, I know, I still can't say it right. Everyone tries to correct me. It's just how it comes out. Yeah. My morning glory to climb over is doing great. I've had a couple little flowers because I did plant it down along the bottom here to grow up too. And up here. So it's doing great. I have lots of different jalapenos. So that's what this bed is. It's nasturtium and up there too. And then, and I have areas lined in it. And then the rest are peppers. So like I have a little Tabasco pepper, and these are all the hot peppers. So I'm trying to remember. There's mammoth, jalapeno, and then regular jalapenos everywhere. And I think a spicy banana I put in here too. I forgot to mark them. I just started throwing stuff in. But on that bush and like this bush, you can see I have jalapenos. So they're doing well. And try not to turn to make you guys too dizzy. Potatoes, that was the first bag I did. These were a week later, so they're not quite up yet. But potatoes are growing. Most of those were potatoes I forgot in the back of the cabinet. Or the ones I grew last year are seed potatoes for this year, because I forgot about them too. I have beets, which are not doing well all around. This poor guy got beat up by the hailstorm. Yeah, we had hail last week, so my garden took a hit. But this is eggplant. A different type of eggplant. So that's an Ichiban, and this is traditional. This is my radishes. They went gangbuster. And of course, I put herbs throughout all the gardens. Depending on what I planted, there's different herbs that complement their growing. And the cucumber is doing very well. Across, I have sugar snap peas, which they're growing well, but they have yet to flower. And I'm afraid it might just be too late in the year for the sugar snap peas because Georgia gets so hot. And because of that, I planted some more of the vining green beans, but these are regular green beans versus the yard long. And then I have butternut squash, which will grow straight up here. And this is my herbs, my that thing right there, the sticks. Apparently I'm not meant to do basil. This is my cinnamon basil. It's not looking too hot either, but it's the only basil. Well, it's one of two basils that lived. There's a third that, or fourth actually, that was a twig. It's gone now. I just replanted basil right there. And cilantro, chamomile. I have 2 chamomiles and various herbs. That is a basil bush, and it's supposed to grow like up to 4 feet. And it's living, so I'm not complaining. And you can see sunflowers are coming up. I did 2 rows of sunflowers of the mammoth on this side. Because right now you can continuously plant every couple weeks, so you have kind of a succession is what I think they call it, planting. All of that, besides a couple pieces of grass that randomly came up, hibiscus for the type that make tea. So not ornamental, but the type for hibiscus tea. That soybean that I just randomly threw out thinking $4 for a bag, it couldn't all come up. And there was like 3,500 in the bag. I think I got 3,500 plants, especially when you see down below. And, well, I'm right here. Bamboo. You gotta love it. See, like, oh, where are we? Yeah, bamboo. It never ends. And here's the funny thing. So the basil, see that in the middle? That is a field pea. Because the chickens have been snooty and don't like to eat their peas, even though chickens typically eat them, I have been finding field peas everywhere with their fertilizer that are now growing. And there's zucchini in there. I've yet to have any female flowers, so it's all male so far. And this awesomeness, it just keeps going and going and whoop. So I'll let it come down to about here, and then I'll turn it back around. That is my gourd, like birdhouse gourd. That was a flower from yesterday, a couple of them. I haven't had, for them, these are the number 2 and number 3 of flowers that I've had so far from this one. And I have yet to have any female flowers. Because a lot of these pumpkin varieties, because it's technically in the pumpkin family, or squash family, depending on how you want to call it, they make male flowers open first when they start blooming. Oh, and, oh, let me read my thing real quick. Oh, I love radishes and beets, however they come. Pickled, you name it, I'll eat it. This is the best thing I have bought recently. It's like $14. It's at Home Depot. It fits these little buckets or big paint buckets. And it's a little chair and it swivels. It is so worth it's $14 because we are always out here sitting with the birds, but we want to be low enough to where we can easily pet them. So run to Home Depot, buy yourself one. I'm just saying. These are ground cherry tomatoes or ground tomatoes. I've seen them called lots of different things. They make little, ooh, sorry, let me focus that for you. It doesn't want to focus. Okay, I'll just back up. They make little lanterns is what it looks like around the fruit, kind of like a tomatillo. They don't get much bigger than that. The paper on the outside will end up drying up brown, and then they fall to the ground. That's how you know when they're ripe. So you don't pluck them, you just wait for them to fall. That's why they're called ground tomatoes, ground cherries, that type of thing. So that is what is going. And they have the prettiest little flowers underneath. Yeah? Right, babies? Butt wiggles. That's how you know they're happy. Yes! And my poor mint, it's quite flat. They don't eat it, they just lay on it. But I got lots of herbs. And this is the blueberry I bought this year, so luckily I did buy something. I've eaten one so far. That one will probably be a tomorrow. And I have blackberries, and they're late in the year, but they are blooming. The strawberries are doing great, unlike last year. They did not like the pot they were in last year. I think I got 2. And these are all the babies that were hanging off of the, oh, I just saw a new strawberry. 2 of them, ooh, that one's not doing well. Here, girls. Nothing goes to waste. The winner! Yes, I was mean. I could have broken it up or something, but back to these. These were all the babies that were hanging off the pots I bought. I snipped them off, put them in here. So their first leaves are going to die off. That's normal. But then they start growing, as you can see. So they're doing well. A couple of these, like I think this one actually was in my plant from last year, the pots. Most of them died off. I think I got 4. Yeah, running. I think I got 4 out of last year's like 20 that were planted, that lived. But you can see we are blooming up a storm. And here's the new growth I was talking about on the blueberries. No flowers, but it's finally having some new growth after I adjusted the pH. And my wildflowers. Ooh. Hello, Michelle. Yeah, hello to this. Oh, wait. Jeremy, what are you doing in here inappropriately? Can't take him anywhere, I'm telling you. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading through everything right now. Apparently, I missed when he first started talking. Yes, I am a veggie and chicken nerd. But yeah, wildflower garden to attract bees. So there's lots of little flowers mixed in. In the back are some really pretty ones, but of course you can't see them through the weeds and the bamboo that threw 2 days ago and got rid of all the visible bamboo. But it never ends, just like the kudzu. You can see back there, there's flowers that are blooming. Just none of the pretty ones in front. Chirp, chirp. Don't call him a turkey. He'll die on me. I don't have good luck with turkeys so far. Green beans, standard bush beans, flat peas. Ooh, you are a real ladybug too. Good. Eat the bad stuff. I've been getting a lot of imposter ladybugs recently, but that's a real one. Along my fencing, I do have flowers that were bulbs that I planted that I can't remember what they're called. And some other flowers that are supposed to like vine and climb up. Again, don't remember what I planted. I had a crazy phase where I just started throwing stuff in the garden. I felt like there just wasn't in here early enough for me, and I didn't write down what I was growing either. Here, this is where, this is all transplanted field peas. This is how many, well, there's a couple extra in here, but these are all ones that I had to grab out of other spots in the garden. There's a couple climbing green beans because I didn't want an empty trellis when these things dry off for the summer. The field peas will go to the chickens, but fresh, so they should eat them. These are all banana peppers that are sweet, and I'm trying to remember what I put here. Maybe a yellow squash is also in here. Some type of squash. It's in the squash family. How's that? Because I planted early, my sunflowers are already just about done for the year. So you can see they are doing their thing. Something did eat the head off one of them and then bring it down here and munch on it. And then this is all corn. I hope I'm not boring you guys too much. I did plant in front of all the beds creeping thyme that can take over. You can walk on it. It doesn't get damaged easily, and it's good ground coverage that will attract bugs that are good bugs, like pollinators, but it keeps away the bad bugs. So we like it. And I did leave things like the violets, which are in the middle here. There's kudzu too, but it will go later today now that I see it. The ferns, I didn't want the pretty garden path, like the perfectly manicured. I wanted texture. I wanted plants. So like the fern that popped up here gets to live in the walkway. The violet that's next to it, that type of thing. But I'm telling you, I went through yesterday. Just since yesterday, there's kudzu coming up. And no, just because it's 3 leaves in Georgia does not mean it is poison ivy. I get that one a lot. My tomatoes. Okay, so this is taller than me now in the bed. And the bed's not that tall of a garden bed. So I'm shocked because, I did not do well last year. Those that were with me last year saw how sad the garden was. The couple little things I got. But like I have Romas, so I have determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. So some that'll grow super tall and then some that'll just stop. I've eaten 1 cherry tomato so far. I have probably, I'm going to let them vine ripen completely. So I'll pull those others maybe tomorrow. The 2 at the back. I already got the one that was first there. But I have lots of tomatoes coming in. And I do have different varieties. Oh. I hear the I laid an egg sound. In the middle, I have, mosquito plant. Why can't I think of the name of it? One of those mornings, apparently, with my brain. Wait. Tag says citronella. Yeah, that's the word. I planted it there back when I only put like 3 tomatoes in the garden. And yeah, again, I felt like things were a bit bare. So I bought extra on top of what I did. I did want to show you, I am getting extra plants on indeterminate tomatoes. I don't know if you can do it on determinate too, but I know for sure on the indeterminate, when you get the suckers that grow in the middle, like right here, I'm going to let this one get just a little bigger. You snip them off and you stick them in the ground. That's what this tomato that's starting to grow is. That's what that tomato is. And that started as just a little nub that I had pulled off one of these spots. Yeah. Sorry, I talk to them a lot. So yeah, I've got 2 there that I stuck in. There's a little one down here. I'm trying to think. I think there's one more on the other side that's a tomato plant that is now growing. So it just keeps giving you more and more tomatoes. Kind of nice. But they are doing great. And my carrots from last year are finally growing. Remember last year they only made it like this tall and just stayed that way. And there wasn't a carrot that formed. It was just roots. I have actual carrots now. Like, I should have separated them, I know. But, see, look, there's carrots. Ha! It's only the size of my pinky, but it's something. All right. Let me look through the comments real quick. First glitch, you saw a glitch? I might have walked too far away from the internet. I mean, it still has a range. But you can hop the thing wherever you put it, and then you use your wireless router. It's just based on however strong your wireless router is from there. But you can put it in a building that's a mile away from the other building. As long as they're facing towards each other, it's supposed to work. My rosemary, I am going to go through here later this week and take some of these that are sprouting. You don't do the woody sticks, but you can do the softer ones. Take a few of the branch or leaves off the bottom and then just stick it in the ground, and it should root itself. That way I can kind of bush out my rosemary. All of this through here are different ages of okra. Let's see, I think I have, yeah, that's, why won't it focus today? It does not like me. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying. Well, there's an okra in the middle, this little guy right there. That one's already been a flower, and that's my first okra, it looks like. But, yeah, okra is growing. Last year, okra gave me 2 okras, and that was at the point that I was already sick, so I never even collected them. That's back there, lots of garlic, and there's okra in between them, and thyme. And they're finally growing. I was a little worried because I only got 2 out of my greenhouse, and one died, and then, well, no, I think there were 3 out of the greenhouse. One died, and then like right there and right here are the ones that were from the greenhouse. Then I bought another pack and planted more. The ones in the middle still didn't do well, but the ones on the end are growing, and that's my Luffa. Yay! Because I really wanted Luffa and Gourd that I can put up my plant stand and sell. So hopefully, these are bell peppers. The kids like yellow and orange bell peppers to eat raw. So that's mainly what I bought. But then I put a purple one in here that I found because who couldn't resist purple? And a red one so I can make paprika. Because I didn't realize it. That is paprika. It's just any type of red pepper, depending on if you want spicy or not. So, and this is my asparagus. This is year 1, so you just kind of let them grow and then die off themselves. You don't do anything to them. And then next year, or I guess year 2, because they were year 1s that were in the bulb. I guess at year 3 is when you get to start eating them. So next year I should have asparagus that I can eat. Like, here's some little ones that are popping up right now. I did 2 rounds of them. I saw that my 6 that I planted did great. And then recently I found them on sale, so I put 6 more in because I apparently don't have enough plants. Oh, I did miss this over here at the sunflowers. I have corn. Look, I have corn. They're babies. They're little. There's nothing impressive to them. But hopefully they got fertilized. Unless you have a lot of them, it's hard for them to fertilize and actually make corn because each little hair has to get a piece of pollen on it. We'll see. We'll see. And the sunflowers I do have, even though some are wilty, oh goodness, it just does not want to focus for me. There's little ones that are starting again. These are the lemon ones. So they will just keep making flowers as they grow. And I found this funny. On the back of one of them grew one. So he's got a little baby flower on the back of his head. Really, girls? All right. Sorry, I'm looking through. Oh, and I saw on one of my farm sales sites here, they made bamboo trellises, $10 a piece. So I'm like, and it was like 2 sticks of bamboo that they drilled through so you could attach rope through it. I was like, I'm missing something here. Because I get lots of bamboo for free. Oh no, your neighbor stole your sunflowers. That does stink. Yep, the wildflowers over on this section are to attract pollinators. They're just because I like flowers and I had a corner, so why not? And that was before the other section was added on, and I decided to leave it. I like having flowers, even though I have to battle bamboo and the kudzu in it. Right, girls? This Tinkerbell, she was the runt, and now she's the bully. Are you that happy you laid an egg? Really? Okay, let me show you 3 days of rain, and this is what the pond looks like. When people are like, oh, you should put a valve in it. Do you know how easily that would get clogged with a valve? Like a smaller one that you have to turn? I don't think it would survive. That is just 3 days right there. Between the rain splashing stuff up and then kicking, there is so much funk in that water. Yep, so later today we'll drain it and start again, right? Is that so? Yang? Yes. All right, let's see if this works going over near the turkeys. So I can make everyone sad again. Sorry, just trying to read through. Citronella is awesome. You know what's actually worked better in my garden to keep the mosquitoes off me when I'm out here? Rubbing either the lemon balm or lemongrass. Both have worked. It worked so much better than the citronella rubbed on me. Oh, third glitch. No one else is saying that they're seeing glitches, so you're going to have to let me know if you guys are getting any. But everyone has to admit, so far, we are way better than we were before. Let's see. Do I use the duck pond water? I do not. I just drain it where it is and let it go down the hill. It goes into the wildflowers, so it's fertilizing them. It's good enough. It's such a pain to scoop it out and then try to bring it over to the garden. And then this one has only been drained once. The geese are not interested in it currently. And this is just rainwater in it. I have not filled it back up. since they're not fully feathered, I think it's a bit chilly still. Because this week we've only been in the 70s. And then it's been as low as in the 50s. Oh, try not to make you guys dizzy turning around. My pumpkin, still only male flowers, but it's doing well. I found some $8 jasmine to go with my jasmine to kind of fill it in a little bit more with my gnomes. And I may have added more gnomes because I found lots more little ones. So I'm special. I get it. Ooh, these are the millipedes we get here. They glow under black light. It's kind of neat. But that's a rather small one. We'll get them really big here. But yeah. Oh no, they fell. The glue on this guy didn't hold. So I have one guy who I just dropped, whose little butt cheeks show, and then that guy that hangs from him. I should have known. They were only like $14 on Amazon. Oh, hold on. Yeah. And again. Definitely doing the speed limit, don't you think? But besides the fun motorcycles, yeah. My watermelons are going. Oh, look, I can hear another one coming. It's a holiday weekend here. They're passing all the cars. Jeez. How loud was that for you guys? Yeah, literally, they just pass all the cars that were driving it by at the same time, too. I love it. I love it. So, there's watermelon there and watermelon there. They're doing well. But this guy, when the sun comes up, he just hasn't been getting rain, and then he got chipmunk chewed. And so I don't think I'm going to have any sugar baby watermelons this year. But I know about right here, no sun. That way, sun. And our trash pile, we have, after this next trip of Jeremy's, we are getting another dumpster. So it's just, waiting for payday. And then we get dumpsters, and then we do it again and again. Say hi, guys. See, my big Colette, she's laying eggs finally, but they crack when you try to pick them up. They're super soft. So she's just not quite right. And that's my pretty Wendy, Sarah. Oop. And Sarah is the only one that lays blue eggs. I think. It's either that or one of those right there. But, oh, the geese are sad. I walked too far away. Let me make sure they follow real quick. I hear you. I'm right here. Here we are. You got something stuck in your mouth, honey. Yes, you do. Hey, come on. Let's go. Yin, yang. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Yep. They help me with all my chores. And they're clumsy as can be, by the way. So if they trip and fall somewhere, don't be shocked. Yeah. They'll even buck up to the big chickens. I know. And then my beauties. I gotta put some shavings in there today later. I couldn't do the pellets, which help absorb the water like I do with the big chickens, because I don't want them to try to eat it, not being smart enough yet. And I have to change their bucket out of food because it got wet, so I put some in their picnic table, and they've already spread it everywhere. So it's all fun. Lots of farm chores. Lots more to do this year for sure. And let's see. I think that one's a rooster. What are you doing? And then we had this pretty one. That's and this one. That one's because Shirley has polka dots on her back. All of them are going to be getting names from A League of Their Own, which I watched last night. I think that one right there is also a rooster. It's already getting a pink comb. And I'm hoping that one right there is a rooster. See, pointy butt, but she's all poofy and has a cone-shaped butt. These lavender ones, they were mixed bin. So could be boy, could be girl. And then they looked like owls at the time, but now they look like hawks. Like down here, those are they called them Americanas, but they're still Easter eggers. I don't know that they're true blue egg layers. We shall see. But, yep, there's 7 of those that were mixed in. We'll see. Oh, the daughter is here. Looking like a true bum. You guys be good. They like to attack her knees. Be good. They do listen when I tell them no, so hopefully they leave her alone. Oh, is Mr. Turtle still in the front, or did he move around? The turtle is hanging out in the food cage. Oh, yep, there he is.
Oh.
So he's still alive. He's still kicking. Jaw seems to be holding in place. Because even when he tucked in his shell, it stayed out. It was gross. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see he's nice and bright pink. He's no longer pink. And he doesn't walk around with his head fully extended. Haley is way back there, just kind of there. She's not open mouth breathing yet, but it's not far away. Yeah. Hi, guys. I mean, hopefully, because he's already a nice big boy, and it is, unfortunately, it's usually males that have the worst of the heart issue. But you can see one's extending his neck out and looking around, the other's kind of tucked in. So I'm going to end up losing him because he's showing the heart signs, and the girl. Hopefully, Harvey stays around. Fingers crossed. Yeah, everyone calls them ducks. They look like ducks right now because they're still not very big. And they're still yellow. So when we get bigger, because they're only 4 weeks old. But you see how tall they stand? They are bigger than everyone. Oh, tingled. Harvey, will you show me how handsome you are? Let's see. So I'm moving much farther away from the internet. So if I lose you guys or it gets fuzzy, let me know. Will you show me how handsome you are? I've been trying to teach them. Usually if I tell them, show me how handsome, they puff up and do the I'm a boy dance. You gonna show us? Or are you starting to feel yucky? Because this guy right here hasn't done the I'm a boy dance in quite a few days. And you can see one's bigger than the other now too. Haley, you're not coming over? Usually all she just wants to do is sit in my lap now. Right? All right. So I think I'll be wrapping this up. We've been invited out to a friend's house to barbecue today. So that's why the live is so early instead of in the afternoons like I usually do. Yes. Hey, stand on that wire right there, on that edge. See how it's sticking up? Yeah. I gotta tack it back down. I tripped on it earlier. No, keep standing. I don't want their feet to get caught.
Boots.
Oh yeah, they do have boots with the fur. They are the prettiest girls. They're light, Brahmas. These are all new breeds for me.
They're lighter than our latest one that we had.
Yeah.
M&M.
They're lighter than Eminem, who's still rocking it back there, the light gray one. You cannot lean on that.
I want one.
Oh, she's trying to do her cheer showing off.
No, I'm not showing off.
With the hair toss. Okay, which you guys didn't get to see. But, yep, let's go. Let me switch this back around. Ooh, there I am.
Moms, I put my finger in there.
Oh,
That one started looking at my finger weird.
Did you get all the different birds from the same breeder? No. Well, ish. So Tractor Supply for all the chickens because I wanted specific breeds and I didn't want to pay for shipping. Cody, I'm cheap. The geese also came from Tractor Supply, so they all came from Hoover Hatchery. Actually, no. Last year's chickens, only 4 came from Tractor Supply, but I ordered through Hoover Hatchery. Same people they get them from. That's how I got the first 10. Oh, don't let them eat the styrofoam. Hey, I know I scared you. Styrofoam. It blew down here. Oh, go get that piece of romaine. They found a romaine stem. They like to try to horf it down and choke themselves.
Smells like ramen.
You can go into the woods. Okay.
Go chase them out.
The turkeys came from a different hatchery altogether. They came through my feed store, had them, or was going to be ordering ducks, and I was able to add on to their order so I didn't have to do shipping and stuff. Again, cheap. So we'll see. I don't know where to order through because the place I thought I was going to order through, my feed store let me know this morning because I wrote him. The place I thought had the best place is actually who he went through. And yeah, maybe I'll try to find someone local. Let's see, I'm trying to read everything. Will I be getting more turkeys? I am. It's still the right time of year to be getting babies, and I really wanted turkeys, and I'm going to lose at least 3, if not all 4. So I'm going to try a different place for sure, but I don't know where yet. And I might as well start now since I know for sure they have the signs. It's just a matter of time. So, and of course they live inside with us for a bit. Let's see. Yeah, I gave them a happy, cuddly life. If you know, I cuddle them every night before bed. And then kiss them all on the head and tell them to go to bed, and then they hop up on the roost. That's our thing. But that's why I knew Haley when I walked in last night. She's curled in the corner, laying sideways. That's not a turkey thing. They like to be high. Unlike geese, who won't go in their goose house at night. I even tried putting, the rain wouldn't ruin their food, but I put the goose food inside the goose house, and they didn't go in. They slept in the rain. But they're geese. They're waterfowl. They're supposed to do that. So, I want them to be in their house, but that's just not their nature. And yes, I can put a door and lock them in to try to get them used to it, but I've seen mixed reviews on that. Apparently it's just a battle to get them in, and then it still doesn't work. They have to do it on their own. They won't actually want to go in there until it's nesting time. So I think that's all the questions. Slight buffering. Okay. I mean, I did wander pretty far away from that thing, but considering I was completely dropping signal when out here, doing good. Oh, stretch. Stretching. It's almost nap time again, isn't it? Graze a little, nap a lot. Graze a little, nap a lot.
Dude, they give me the biggest side.
Oh, they do give you the side eye where they stare at you with one eyeball. That's where that phrase came from, I'm sure. Yeah, the next baby turkeys with everyone and all the different places my friends have gotten turkeys, it's still a crapshoot of if they make it. But I'm going to try. But I will let you guys know when I get them. Thank you for joining me for this 91 minutes. Jesus, I talked a while. Yes, I am a talker. I can talk to anything. But have a great Memorial Day. Hopefully you're spending it remembering those who have fallen, but just enjoying being with your family before something happens with them. Because you never know what is going to happen. So, bye everyone. Fiona says goodbye too.